Okay, welcome back, everyone. Let's talk about the development and aging of the endocrine system in this one. So I'll do this pretty quickly. The endocrine system actually arises from all three of the embryonic germ layers. That is the endo, ecto, and mesoderm. The glands that produce the steroid hormones, like the gonads and the adrenal cortex, those arise from the mesoderm, and the endocrine glands that arise from the endo and ectoderm are going to be the glands that produce the amine, peptide, and protein hormones. Okay, um, let's see what happens as the body ages. Well, changes occur that affect all of the body, and the endocrine system is no different. Sometimes you'll get changes that will affect or alter the production, secretion, and catabolism of hormones. Um, One example is that as you age, the amount of human growth hormone that's produced will decline, and that results in atrophy, or basically the reduced muscle mass that is commonly observed in the elderly. Um, Other things that you'll see are like the production of cortisol and aldosterone decreasing, while epinephrine and norepinephrine remain normal throughout the aging process. So that's interesting. Um, One of the really uh, well understood examples of age changing the endocrine system is menopause and the decline of ovarian function that we see in females. With increasing age, the ovaries will decrease in both size and weight and become progressively less sensitive to gonadotrophins. And that basically occurs, it generally causes a decrease in estrogen and progesterone levels, leading to menopause and the inability to reproduce, as well as a host of other health issues. Um, Interestingly, what we see is that testosterone levels also decline with age. That's a condition called andropause or viropause. However, that decline is much less dramatic than the decline of estrogens in women, and it's much more gradual, rarely affects sperm production until a very old age, and the list of health issues is, I'd say, somewhat less severe. Um, that also doesn't mean, though, that the sperm are completely unaffected by the aging process, because their quality, quantity, and motility is often reduced as well. So the best time, or the most opportune time to conceive, is definitely in the earlier years. But however, men can have maintain that ability for decades longer than females. But anyway, another example as the body ages is that the thyroid gland will produce less of the thyroid hormones, and what that will cause is a gradual decrease in the basal metabolic rate. When that happens, you'll get increases in body fat, levels of body fat. On the other hand, parathyroid hormones will increase with age, and that may be because of reduced dietary calcium levels, which will cause a compensatory increase in the parathyroid hormone. And so that brings with it a list of its own effects. And the last thing I want to talk about is how increasing age also affects glucose metabolism. And so what you'll see is blood glucose levels spike. They'll do so more rapidly and eventually take longer to return to the normal levels in the elderly. And in addition, increasing glucose intolerance might occur because of a gradual decline in insulin sensitivity. And what you'll see is that as Americans, particularly because of how our diets compared to the rest of the world, as Americans age, we see a very sharp increase in diabetes, with 20% of Americans age 65 and older having it. Okay, so that was a pretty quick video on the last section of chapter 17. Look forward to the next week starting chapter 18.